Notes from Greenhalgh, number 7. Set your mind to grow. I've noticed recently in education, there's a lot of discussion about having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. I'm glad to see people talking about this. To make progress, it's important to believe you can improve your abilities through effort. That's having a growth mindset, rather than just settling for the notion that you are who you are and you can't change that, which is a fixed mindset. Note, in various aspects of life, people follow a continuum from fixed to growth, rather than just being one or the other. Developing a growth mindset involves taking risks, reflecting on performance, listening to feedback, and then making meaningful changes based on that information. How you handle setbacks and challenges determines your destiny more than pure intelligence or talent. Be flexible, teachable, positive and passionate. Expect results, though at times you may fall short. I fail often, and it's frustrating, but I can't let it beat me down. I try to learn from it and build on it. Partly it's due to trying to communicate unfamiliar concepts or develop different approaches. Partly it's due to the fact that I'm just not very good at some things that I try. But I'm learning that it's better to try and fail than to fail to try. When things don't turn out the way you hoped, despite having a good intention and motivation, take time to reflect on your experience. Write down what went well, what went wrong, and why. Learn from your mistakes and weaknesses. Then the next time you tackle something similar, you'll be stronger and more successful. Much can be learned from failing that will help you succeed in the future. Usually it has little to do with the actual work and more to do with changing your perspective, your ideas, your approach, your character, and your relationships. Ed Catmull, co-founder of Pixar, said, "We need to think about failure differently. I'm not the first to say that failure, when approached properly, can be an opportunity for growth. But the way most people interpret this assertion is that mistakes are a necessary evil. Mistakes aren't a necessary evil. They aren't evil at all. They're an inevitable consequence of doing something new, and as such, should be seen as valuable. Without them, we'd have no originality. And yet, even as I say that embracing failure is an important part of learning, I also acknowledge that acknowledging this truth is not enough. That's because failure is painful, and our feelings about this pain tend to screw up our understanding of its worth. To disentangle the good and the bad parts of failure, we have to recognize both the reality of the pain and the benefit of the resulting growth. You've probably heard the phrase, live every moment, laugh every day, love beyond words. I would add learn to that list. Be a lifelong learner. Continuously improve, especially by expecting and embracing failure. Neil Gaiman put it this way, make new mistakes. Make glorious, amazing mistakes. Make mistakes nobody's ever made before. This will make you stronger and a more diverse person who can empathize and help others. P.S. I know this has been a long note. If you care to read or listen any further, I do have one last thought about the most significant aspect of this topic. Whenever you find something truthful, good, or beautiful in life, look for God at work. Many times He reveals something about Himself in our everyday encounters, through His Word, through people, or through circumstances. In this case, the glory of God is seen in the fact that His power is made perfect in our weakness. Through a believer's brokenness, imperfections, failures, and mistakes, God redeems, restores, and accomplishes His awesome purposes. In the Bible, the Apostle Paul talks about believers as fragile jars of clay, which are afflicted, perplexed, persecuted, and struck down at times, but never crushed, despairing, forsaken, or destroyed. For they carry the treasure of the good news of God in them. That good news would be hidden if it did not shine through their cracks. Our cracks are okay. God uses them. So do not lose heart at mistakes and challenges when you're trying to do the right thing. Give them to God. Be faithful, available, and teachable, and He will shine through your cracks to bring victory and life to you and those around you. That's the kind of mindset that brings wonderful growth.